So thanks, Charlie. Thanks for being willing to take part in this interview. So just to get to know you first, what is your sport and how did you get into sport?
So primarily sport is football, so women's football, and a little bit of a sideline with golf. So as a kid, I played both. So primary school was probably first time I kind of played football, although played obviously in the garden as a kid with dad, and parents said that as soon as I can walk, I played football or was kicking a ball. Mm-hmm. So that kind of developed from there. And then with the golf, both my dad and grandfather played, so it was just kind of I think a natural thing that they then decided to get me playing, as they do. So yeah, they're my primary two. I have recently given rugby a go, but
that's good.
I've decided that football definitely is my thing over rugby. I'll try these things.
Yeah. So obviously you mentioned that you had some opportunities at your primary school, your school days. But that was on to my next question. I was going to say, was there always opportunities for you to play sport at school and at local clubs?
Yeah, I think I was lucky. So primary school wise, I went to kind of a normal mixed primary school, but they were really supportive of females, well, both ways actually. So girls playing football, and then in fact we had a guy that was playing netball. So it all worked, and they were really inclusive, which was really, really great. So if we're going back at least 20 years, unfortunately, back then I think that was quite forward thinking, and they were really accepting of it. So yeah, I played in the school football team, and I was the only girl playing. And then in terms of club football, again, I was quite lucky. I reckon I must have started about under 10s ish, and at that point it was a mixed team. So we were playing in with the boys, and then I think it was under 12s. It was then converted and split, so went into kind of a girls only team. And actually, I played football all the way through then. So I was really lucky that both school and my local club accepted kind of women and girls.
That's good. I'm quite glad there's actually opportunities, because that's not normally the case. I know for myself in primary school it was always split. There was no girls football team. So
really lucky.
Yeah, thank you. What did you enjoy about football, and did you ever face any negativity?
So football, I think it's quite hard to pinpoint what thing gets you in. Certainly in women's football, when I went on to play women's football, it was the team mentality, the team group. We really got on well as a group of friends as much as anything else. And I think certainly in women's football, that's what kind of kept me going, kept me going back. And the football was, it was equally, we played well and we did well out of it. So that was an added bonus. So I definitely think it was more of the team spirit that kept you going. We had great fun. In fact, during this COVID crisis at the moment, although we pretty much haven't played football together for the last 2-3 years, we're almost doing a kind of every 2 weeks having a little quiz Zoom thing. So and I'm sure it will continue. So the team spirit definitely. In terms of negativity, playing wise, not that I ever remember. Just trying to think. I don't think we really had any issues. The only thing I've ever experienced as a female in sport is actually, we kind of mentioned previous to this, I'm a sports therapist. So I worked in men's football for a while. The team I worked for were amazing, absolutely brilliant. It never happened, and they said that they just wouldn't kind of accept any sort of inappropriateness being a female in a male setting. So the only issue I ever had was actually going onto a pitch to support an opposition player, and then all the jokes about which part of their anatomy they'd injured, etc. came about. So not in terms of and when you work in that setting, you take it as banter and equally give them some back, but so it wasn't negativity, just that's the only thing I've ever experienced in a sports setting.
Thanks for sharing that.
No, that's right.
What radical things must change in order for women's sport to be taken as seriously as men's?
Yeah, this question is
Mm.
interesting. I like this question. So difficult to answer though. So
Yeah,
I think I was thinking about it because obviously, you know, we discussed some of the questions that might come up, and I was thinking where I was 20 years ago playing girls, you know, girls football, women's football, whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
and then to where that is now. I think girls of 8 to 15, whatever, youngsters have more opportunity already than I did as a youngster. I was talking to someone earlier today about it and saying that I think the setups at clubs, the advertisement of football, women, you know, the Women's World Cup being on the TV and how,
yeah.
you know, incredible
That is good. Yeah,
thing that was. So I think there's been a massive progression already in that direction. And I think it's slowly starting to change in terms of pay, but I think that's going to be a long, long journey to get to where the men's game is. And I don't know if it ever will get there because of the amount of sponsorship
yeah,
and just the money, the business money that is in the men's game.
yeah,
And equally, it's the same in golf. You know, if you look at the prize money between female golf and male golfers, it's quite a big split,
yeah,
you know, difference wise. So I think until sponsorships and until kind of those global businesses jump on board, I don't think women's sport is going to be as big as men's, unfortunately. So I
oh,
think it's got to be businesses that get involved more than anything
oh,
else.
I understand that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. What do you think male athletes can do to help drive visibility of female sports?
I think you know, we've seen in the past few years, there's been quite a few, whenever they do kit releases now, you know, the England squad in
Yeah,
particular will do
joining them
that,
up.
male and female.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah, bringing in both sets. And I think that's a big move.
yeah,
And I know there's big, you know, David Beckham's a prime example. I know he's a bit off the scene now, but he was, you know, quite an advocate of, or appeared to be an advocate of the kind of the women's game and building those relationships across the teams.
yeah,
So I definitely think that can help start to do that. So just yeah, being vocal about their, you know, for big clubs, every big club has got a women's team. So being vocal
yeah,
about, I went to see their game or I've watched them, whatever, and just picking it up a little bit, I think is going to be useful
100%.
um, in the pro game, that is, and in the women's game on, you know, Sunday league, equally coming to, you know, coming to watch, investing in some money and kit. I know when we were playing, we were very lucky that we had someone who sponsored our kit, you know, but all of that sort of thing comes out of our own pocket. If not, you know, at a lower level, men potentially get paid to play at the same level that I played at, and you
Yeah,
know, I was paying the club to play. Yeah, they
yeah,
get paid. So I think there is a big split still. Yeah, so I think anyone that can donate money to a local women or girls team just to buy kit or buy footballs or anything
yeah.
like that is
Anything
a
that will help.
massive help
Yeah.
for local teams. Definitely.
Uh, Wicked. Thank you. Last question. Thanks so far. What advice would you give to young girls who want to pursue a career in sport?
I think go for it. So
Yeah,
that's my biggest thing. Don't let anything hold you back. If you've got a dream, is to go after it. And I think that's, you know, males or females, but definitely, you know, in particular where females might not have um, as much of a setup behind them or something like that, or you know, they are seen as playing a predominantly male sport or used to be a male sport. So yeah, definitely go for it.
yeah,
Um, you know, put in the work. It's not easy.
no,
It's not easy at any, you know, any gender. You've got to do the practice work. Just because you're a female doesn't mean you automatically get given rights to go and do something.
yeah,
Equally male. So yeah, definitely put in the work. And I think if you feel that there is ever any injustice, then you've got to I suppose fight that and kind of make your voice heard.
yeah,
You know, I'm very lucky that I never experienced any of it, but you know, I'm sure it is out there. So yeah, I think if you ever feel that you yeah have been
yeah,
treated poorly or anything, then make it heard. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Don't
Whether
shy
that be
away.
coaching staff or above. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. You gotta yeah talk to people about it because it's not right if it has happened. So yeah,
yeah,
definitely go at it. If
yeah.
you do feel that you've been yeah
Uh,
negatively affected, then obviously make it known.
Wicked. No, thank you. Thanks for being willing to answer those questions. Appreciate
No,
that.
no problem. I think it's a
That's,
great little series that you're doing. So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
good.